You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!
All right, man. A. Ward.
Thank you,
Is
man.
there a dot?
It's most definitely a dot. It actually bothers me when people put the hyphen or the dash.
I don't put nothing. I just put a space.
I'm not too mad at that, but you know, when somebody's like searching you or Googling you, you kind of want it to be consistent, you know? Because sometimes they do A dot space Ward, and I'm like, no, it's just A dot W, you know, capital W-A-R-D. But yeah, I've gotten the hyphen a handful of times, or I'll of legal drop a battle and they won't put the dot, and I'll message them like, yo, do you mind? You know, I'm not too worried about it when it comes to flyers and different things like that. But battle-wise, like I want it, you know, when you type in A dot Ward, you know, I want it to come up. So
that's how I am for me, because people
put the H on it.
They put the H on it,
Yep.
and they put the C instead of the K.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. I did an interview with some guys, and it's like I was like, how you gonna do an interview with me and not know?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about too.
Do you?
It's recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I do.
I had to call him like, I wasn't mad. It was just
Right.
like, yo, just fix that for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't too upset about it. Sometimes people call me A word. Like that's when I get, I'm like, you booked me. Like I'll do an
A-word.
event, a poetry, whatever, and they'll just be like, you know, as a spoken word poet, obviously A word would kind of fall in, you know. But I'm just like, yeah, nah.
that ain't it.
That ain't it.
That ain't it.
Yep.
What's good though, man?
Man,
Good to
blessed,
see you. I
man.
ain't seen you in a couple years.
Man, shoot, it's actually only been 73 days. Normally, I just, you know, I keep count.
You
know.
do?
Nah, man, I'm good, man. It's good to be out here. We're in Milwaukee, of all places. You know, we normally see each other like Jersey, New York, Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Orlando.
Like, yeah. But we were just talking like we was in Toronto together. Now we're in Milwaukee together.
Nice.
You know, it's like
This is your first time in Milwaukee.
no, this is my second time in Milwaukee.
Ah.
My first time I battled Black Aladdin on his battle rap league about 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay,
something like
okay.
that. Very small local league. You know, shout out to Black Aladdin.
He's
Yeah.
a hustler, man. I know.
Most definitely.
I know him, man. He be out here working.
Most definitely. Shout out to
Yeah.
him. You know, so but this is my first time on Black Ice Cartel.
Gotcha.
And you know, obviously in the cage. So
My first time in Milwaukee and my first time at a Black Ice
Oh, that's awesome.
Cartel event in Milwaukee, because they came to Brooklyn.
okay.
They did an event in Brooklyn. Crazy event too. Good
Fire.
event too. So shout out to
Yep. John
Black
Doe.
Ice Cartel.
Yep.
Well, you main event?
Yeah, main event, man. Main event.
I saw a flyer and I think they had Bonds as the main event.
Well, I seen a couple of flyers. I actually saw a couple of flyers because even JC shared his, and he was the main event. You know, so I think some guys were just, you know. Listen, I think I've said it in plenty of interviews, man. I don't care where I'm at on the card. I'm
Right.
not one of those guys, you know. So you know, I'm just trying to be the best person there. Period.
Well, you got a killer on there. You got Hollow the Dinner.
I gotta get that phonetically down for my material. All right, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it later.
I don't know if you had a list, but was Hollow like one of those guys you said,
yeah.
like, I got to battle Hollow?
Most definitely. Bucket list. I tell people all the time, Lux, Bill Collector, Hollow, like that was my three favorites. You
Right.
know, like watching them battle for different reasons. And you know, once I realized that I was at the level in which those types of battles are attainable, that's when like, yo, I need this battle. I want this battle. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
now is it because of who he is in the culture, or is it because of his skill? See, some people want to battle people just
Yeah.
because of a name. Like, so is it like?
it's twofold. So it is who he is in the culture, obviously, Hollow. And I do like his style.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like there's times where it's like, yo, like not to skip. I'm battling Av next month. Av is on a streak. Av is killing everything. You know what I mean? I'm battling Av like I
Potential
want
champion of the
like,
year
I'm
candidate.
like, yo, I need to meet the best in their prime, right? Like, and so with Hollow is like his style, you know, and what he's capable of. You know what I mean? And then who he is, you know.
Yeah, he's legendary.
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary. And how long did you know this battle was happening?
And I think it's been at least a couple months.
Couple months. Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Is that dangerous that you had that much time to prepare?
Absolutely not. I write the week for every battle. Yeah.
Even hollow.
Even thesaurus, even verb, even rum nitty. Like every battle you've ever seen me be great in the last 4 years, like tops 12 days, tops 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, the pressure, the just like, you know, like I might think of an idea like randomly after it gets booked and just jot it in my notes, but as far as like prioritizing sitting down and writing and like putting rounds together and everything like that is always about 10 days.
What's the longest time period that you actually started preparing for somebody?
But it was way back when I thought I had to do it that way to perform at a high level. So it's addictive. You know, the first time you go in and you write 3 rounds in the 5 days before the battle and you put on your what people call your best performance of all time, then you're like,
guess who told me that?
Twerk.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yep. I remember years ago I did an interview with Twerk and I was telling him like why? He said it's just it works for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pressure. And then personally for me, like I used to have material done, you know, first 3-4 years I battled weeks ahead of time, and I would get so sick and tired of the material, it would be bored to me. So then I would need to call somebody who hasn't heard it and say, yo, I want to hear their oohs and ahs on the phone, so now I'm back confident and believing in it because I've already rapped it for weeks and weeks, and the battle's not for 2 more weeks.
Right.
And that can translate into you performing it, you know? So now I got fresh material that I've been working on the last 10 days. Boom, I'm confident with it. Let's go. And it's going to come out in the performance.
Which probably says that you are like Rain Man.
And this is not for everybody, obviously, because memorization wise, like, you know, I mean, you know, I
think I'm not gonna stamp it, but I think out of a lot of the freestyle people that I do interviews with, they'll tell you that like their prep time is short. Yeah, they'd rather have shorter prep time.
Yeah, and I memorize it as I write it. You know what I mean? A lot of people write around, and then have to go back, memorize it. You know,
right.
I'm memorizing it as I write it. So
I'll tell you something funny. When I used to rap. And
in the ghetto, what's that? What's that hit single?
Ghetto. It ain't a hit single, but
come on,
Ghetto.
Man. Yeah.
It's just fire.
Yeah.
What I used to do is I used to get the instrumental, put it in my car, and I just drive. Get on the highway and I just drive. I have no destination. I'll just drive, and I'm pulling over, jotting it down. By the time I get far enough and then turn around and come back, I know the whole shit that I just did. So it's like, so I get it. You know what I mean?
I did the same thing. Like when I was doing music, you know, personally, like rhythm and like cadences and being on beat and stuff doesn't come very natural to me, you know? And so I would have to hammer it in my head over and over so many times, you know, in whatever delivery or cadence I'm rapping to and whatever BPMs the instrumental is or whatever.
Right.
And so as I'm writing battle raps too, like I might be writing this section, but the whole time I'm writing this section, I'm already going over the intro in my head as I'm doing it, you know. So I just think repetition wise, like I'm able to kind of compartmentalize things that way.
I don't know if it was you, but I heard somebody, a freestyler, say they don't like the fact that they're such a good freestyler and then people expect that.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely it's just a gift and a curse. Like I mean, don't get it twisted. Like being highly regarded in that area is great. It's marketable. It's, you know, people want to see it. You know what I mean? It gets you plates. It gets you attention. It gets you, you know, big reactions in the building that other people can't necessarily, you know, cultivate. But it is tough because there's an expectation. You know what I mean? Just like the expectation of a strapped in or so it's showtime. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I need you to do this, and it's got to be fire. It better be fire because we always expect it to be fire. And so as a freestyler, you know, A-Ward versus Hollow the Dawn, this is going to be, the freestyles are going to be crazy. And I'm just like, they might be. I might not rebuttal.
Right.
Like, you know, and I'm not trying to rob anybody, but I'm just not going to force that unless it comes naturally or there's some kind of material or whatever that deserves the rebuttal.
Where do you rank Hollow as in the freestyle rebuttaling game?
Yeah, he's top 5 all time.
Top 5 all time.
I think he's top 5.
Who's the other 4?
I would say, man, I'm gonna take myself out and say Sharon, Clips, DNA, Chef Trez, and Hollow.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I would just honorable mention like Bangs, Big Cannon, Serious Jones. You know, those.
Geechee's underrated at free.
Geechee is an underrated, underrated rebuttaler, and Danny Myers is becoming a very, very good rebuttaler.
Yeah. I think he had a crazy one with you. Didn't you battle him in Houston?
Who, Danny?
No, I'm trying to think of who that was.
Not me. Not in Houston. No.
But you got Hollow, man. You got Hollow, not Hollow, man.
Right.
And again, time limit. Is there a time limit? You got time limits?
I mean, so I was told, Hollow DM'd me, like, when we first booked the battle. It was like, yo, 3 minutes, 30-second grace period. You know, and I just DM'd him back and was like, look, I don't write long rounds, so I'm going to stay right around 3 minutes, 3:15.
And I've talked to a lot of y'all, and most people will say, nah, I just do what I do. Do you actually prepare different because it's Hollow?
Yes, I mean, every battle's different, you know, like every skill set's different, you know. So yeah, I'm not the kind of guy that's like, no, I just do me and everybody just needs to appreciate that. Like, I look at, like, stylistically, he's a little more laid back, or he uses humor, or he uses this, or, you know, he might have shades on, or he might have, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that go into, like, who I'm standing in front of, how I'm talking to you, and the material I'm using, you know. But I just wouldn't say that, like, he made, like, his style or whatever made me have to, like, do something crazy or dig deeper, or, you know what I mean? And so, but with Hollow, he's you know, he's just a different opponent, a different type of battle, and you know, a different legend. And then not even just Hollow, Black Ice Cartel, different league, cage, different format.
Yes,
it's a lot of variables.
Yes,
and if anybody that battles knows anything, is like, man, you can have the best material in the world, and you might have a tired crowd, you might have bad audio, you might have this. There's so many things that have to be a well-oiled machine for the product of that 30 to 40 minutes to come out really, really good.
Right. And again, man, shout out to Black Ice Cartel, man. They've always been innovating to me. You know, John with the special effects to the videos and the camera work and shit like that. And now they got the cage. You know what I mean? So what's gonna happen, man, if it goes left and you're stuck in a cage with Hollow and your entourage is on the other side of that cage and Hollow has to whoop your ass?
Yeah, it's not gonna go left. But if it does, Avocado better pick a side.
Now, I'm again, man, I'm out here with you, man. I definitely wanted to see this one up close and personal, man. So I'm here. Probably gonna drop this tonight or tomorrow, but the battle is tomorrow, Sunday, October 6th, in Milwaukee. There's pay-per-view?
Pay-per-view, yep, Rap Grid.
Grid pay-per-view.
Eventbrite tickets.
Tickets, so there's still time to get tickets. If not, get that pay-per-view. Nice little card they got here, too.
Very nice.
So, and like I say, my first time out here, man, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. You know, we got JC, Rum Nitty, Fonz, Mike P, Bankhead, Vixen, 40 Bars, myself, Hollow. Then you have local, I don't even want to call them local guys, but guys like Killer B, Showstopper, Catboy Hurt, you know, guys that really been putting on in this area too, that are getting opportunities against some of these guys. And so it's really going to be, and not to mention Clean Paper and Cut might be one of the most entertaining battles. So yeah, make sure y'all tap in.
Yeah, and again, I like shit like this because I get to see a lot of new guys that I've never seen. If not new guys, just guys that I've never seen. You know, especially from this area here. So I'll see you tomorrow on that one, brother.
You already know, man. God is good.
All the time.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!